Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Circuit's Mailbox. I apologize that it was such a long time since I made another video, but just let's get right into it. I have an email from Sebi, and Sebi is a pretty regular person in my stream and a great person overall. And the email they sent me was kind of heavy, so I didn't want to read all of it. Instead, I'm just going to give a little bit of a summary of it. And some of the things that they said is I feel like a burden for everything and everyone. I feel like I'm horrible. Uh, I'm afraid of my past. I'm terrified of the future, and a lot of different things that, like, for example, they say I don't feel like my age. I feel like I'm 25 already, but yet people always around me generally seem that I'm immature, and I find it hard to relate to people my age in a deep way. And a lot of different things that are just related about just people around them and how they kind of reflect uh how do I even explain this? More like how people around them are kind of affecting them in a very negative way. They also said, I asked myself, is life really worth living? Why will I find peace, and what can I do? And and a lot of the things that are in this video, or sorry, in this email, is basically just about how constantly a lot of different people are disturbing your peace. Very recently, a good friend of mine that I don't want to really name, but basically, like, when I say very recently, like literally right now, they have gone fully offline for a bit because of a lot of things that have been happening, including a lot of people that have been messaging them, and a lot of people that have been kind of bothering them, like, hey, can I vent to you? Hey, can I talk to you? Or like, or, or just people that are just constantly doing bad things around them or to them. And when I was a young kid, I had those people in my life as well. If anything, it was my family and my friends, pretty much everybody around me. Uh, I had the same exact feeling where I didn't feel like I belonged to anybody. I always had the feeling of constantly being demeaned or just like constantly hurt. Always said people saying things, to me directly, indirectly, backhandedly, behind my back. Never great things. And the more I grew up, the more I realized that. Well, it's more like I heard this quote when I was, I think I was like in my mid 20s, and I heard "protect your peace." That was something that really kind of made me understand a lot, because a lot of people that are around you in your environment or in your day-to-day life will affect how you kind of operate or function as a person. It it sucks because sometimes you don't have a choice, because if you live with your parents or yada yada, you're just stuck with it. But in a lot of different ways, sometimes you'll have friends that, you can probably choose which friends you can be around. And in my case, I did not have good friends. I did not have good, my family wasn't the best either. It's not like they were, alcoholics or something like that, but, they said nasty things or just terrible things, and it wasn't great at all. And every single time I had a moment of peace to myself, where I was able to kind of work on the things that I love doing, whether it was studying or trying to study, or of course content creating. Well, uh, sometimes someone would just walk up to you and say some shit, and then that would ruin your whole day. That happens. That can happen all the time, and that's completely normal. It's such a normal thing for people to kind of spiral out of control once a little thing goes wrong in their life. And if you definitely feel that way, you shouldn't feel bad for reacting in such a poor way. When that happens, you are just responding emotionally. And your emotions are completely valid, whether it is good or it is bad, it is still very valid. When I learned the whole protect your peace kind of thing, I started to think about many things in my life, including who was really there for me, who was not there for me. And over the course of time, I had to make a lot of drastic changes, including, cutting off my family, cutting off a lot of friends that I had, a lot of things, and including a divorce that I had to go through. And I talk about it many times. It's all old news, but the more you have time for yourself without anybody bothering you, the more you start to realize how valuable it is in your life when nobody bothers you at all. It's like somebody can spend 5 minutes saying something to you, but that 5 minutes of saying something to you will affect you for maybe days or even weeks. And it sucks. If there is a possibility, my personal advice is to remove yourself from environments or all those things where you will be susceptible to those situations. For example, if your parents say nasty things to you, try to talk to your parents less. Try to be in environments where you can't be around your parents. Let's say you live at home with them. Let's say you live under the household and you're trying to get some work done. Leave the house, go to a library, go somewhere else. Completely leave the house just so you avoid them. That's what I tried to do and did many times, and it helped me a lot. As well as many things like, for an example, for friends, I did not have the best friends when I was growing up because I had the conscious thought of it's better to have some friends than no friends at all. But I realized that it's actually better to have no friends than bad friends. So if anybody is not really there for you, it's better to just not be friends with them at all. Time is finite, your life is finite, and you shouldn't be spending too much energy or any energy at all for people that don't support you. And it kind of sucks because it's easier said than done. But at the end of the day, you have to focus on the things that matter the most. And even if there is a risk factor of anybody to just tell you something that will screw you up for like a day, it's better to just not talk to them at all. It's just better to not talk to them at all. I know this is a very quick mailbox video. I hope this helped. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and I apologize for being gone for so long. The subathon kind of fucked me up, but I'm back. I will be getting through your emails. In fact, instead of emails, do not send me any more emails because they kind of just get sunk in. I'm going to make a form, and I'll put it into the description. Feel free to write your stuff there instead, and I will answer them as much as I can. I'll try to get back into this whole weekly thing, and nevertheless, remember that you're not alone. Try to reach out to people, like the ones that you really trust, your friends, your family, and even people in the community. Not like in a venting way, but just like be there for each other. Because a lot of times when you start to get people out that don't really vibe with you or just don't really even like you as a person or just say nasty things to you, the more you start culling them, the more you'll start to kind of gravitate towards people that are more like you. I haven't found my type of people or my kind of what do they say, my group, something like that, maybe until like a year and a half ago. I say not even, maybe a year ago. I think I've only found my crowd, that's what it was called. I only found my crowd maybe a year ago when I started becoming circuit, and I think I've only found a partner that truly cared about me when I only met Fusha. I didn't really have anybody else like that. It and a lot of people, including Sebi in the email, said, "I'm 25 and I don't feel like my age. I feel like I'm immature." Sebi, I hope you hear this. I'm 29 years old. Yet everybody thinks I'm 23, 22 just because of how I act and how I carry myself. And I do come across very young, very immature, of course. But at the end of the day, is that age is just like, it's just a number, caveats included, of course. But age is like a number because as you grow up, you'll start to realize that your brain doesn't really change. It'll just be more conditioned. But you will still, at the end of the day, you're still you. You're just going to have a few wrinkles here and there as you grow up. But even at the age of 60, you're still going to have the same brain. You're not going to become like old, like an old man or anything like that. You're just going to be the same person, just a little older. So try to not listen to those kind of people and try to remove people that are toxic in your life and protect your peace. That's what matters the most. I hope this helps. Have a good day, everybody. And I hope to hear back from you guys again soon. Take care.